Hello, I'm Amanda and I'm the owner here at Shrimplovers. Today I'm going to do a very quick presentation on how to bag and send ship your fish at home. It's quite easy when you know how, and there's a few key tricks and tips I'm going to show you. Now, the first tip to getting all of this sorted is preparation. So you need to prepare by finding out where the person or the customer lives. You need to find out how you're going to send it, whether it's Australia Post or another courier service. Find out from them how long that is estimated to take, and always try and plan for worst case scenarios. So if they say it's going to be overnight, plan for 2 days. If they say it's a 2-day service, plan for 3 days, because something can always go wrong and it's best to be prepared. So you've got to plan the journey. You've got to also make sure that if these fish are going to be in the bags for 2 days, you need to purge them. Now, purging simply means not feeding them for the first 2 or 3 days before you're going to ship them. So any food that's in their tummy will come out in the tank before you put them in the bag, because you don't want them to pollute the bag. So yeah, make sure that you've got all the person's details. So when shipping, you're going to need their full name, their full address, and also you want a phone number, preferably a mobile. And our mobile phone number is in case anything happens at their end and the courier or post delivery man needs to find them or can't find them, they have their details. Also, you're going to need an email address. Now, email address is very, very crucial, because an email you will do all your correspondence through, and you'll also be able to send them their tracking details as well. So make sure you have all of the information before you do much, okay? Now, being ready with, packing them up, and that is also really important. You want to make sure, let's say that if you're sending them by Australia Post, that you contact your local post office and find out what the latest time that you can have them at their office is. So if it's 5 o'clock, you have to have them there by 5 o'clock, then you probably don't want to start bagging them up until about 4:30. Don't bag them too early, because then that's another 5-6 hours that they're going to be in that bag. So make sure you plan ahead. Now, today I'm going to bag up some bristlenose catfish, some peppermint bristlenose, and I've also got a Siamese fighting fish. So today I've actually prepared everything first, and this is what you have to do. So here I've got fish bags. Very, very important, and it's also important to make sure that the bags that you use are suitable for the fish size that you're putting in there. You don't want a massive bag, and you don't want too small a bag. Okay. Then obviously you want to make sure that you've got newspaper to wrap the fish. By wrapping the bags in newspaper, it creates a dark environment, which reduces stress and also insulates them a little bit as well. Okay, then you want to have a box, preferably a suitable size box. You don't want it too big. You want the bags to actually fit in the box quite snug. You want it to be tight. If it's loose, the bags will move, and that's when you will get breakage. The bags will break. Okay, now you guys possibly won't have, but in winter, a thermal resin heat pack is also crucial. Do not send during winter tropical fish without a heat pack, especially if it's overnight, because overnight just too cold. So I'm going to show you how to do with the heat pack. Obviously you need elastic bands as well to bag up. So I've already gone to the effort and I've done the hard bit, which is catching the fish. So I don't know whether you can see, but that is a massive big male peppermint bristlenose, and then I've got 2 females, and I've also got a female crown-tailed fighting fish. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to now show you 3 different ways of bagging the fish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my elastic bands, I'm going to take my bags, and I'm going to now bag them in front of you so you can watch. Okay. So the first one we might bag up is the big boy. So the first one I'm going to show you is to triple bag. All of these will be triple bagged, but this is the way I'm going to show you a triple bag technique. Now this way can only be done with oxygen. So this is, you can't do this without oxygen. It's too hard. Okay, so in here I've got 3 bags. So what I'm going to do, and I've got my oxygen here, I'm going to pull down those 2 bottom ones. I'm going to push all the air that's in that bag out. I'm going to put the airline tube in the bag, and then I'm going to pump it up. Okay, like that. I'm going to take it out, I'm going to push a bit of air, I don't want that much air. Now I'm going to turn it to the top. That's it. It's really simple. Now you always double elastic band. Okay, so you put them on, you turn them again, and then what I do, and this is my technique, there's probably many ways, is you twist the elastic band. Now I don't ever want to see people doing this. Atrocious. We want to actually reduce stress during shipping, not increase it. So this is the proper way to actually tighten the elastic band. So what we want to do is we actually want to turn our elastic band, not the bag fish. So see how he's just cruising, he's just sitting there. Now you don't want to do it too tight, you still want to be able to lasso it back around. So you just twist that, turn it over, and then as many times as you can, do that elastic band. Okay, so I've got my first little pocket of air, and now it depends on how big the bags are, but normally what I do is I do 1/3 oxygen and 1/3 water and 2/3 oxygen or air. Okay, so now you do your second bag, and they all must be done separately. You do not do them all together. Now on the second layer, I'm only going to use 1 elastic band. But the first layer, the first bag with the fish in the water, you do double. So once again, as you can see, I'm moving the elastic band hand, not the bag. Don't want to actually stress the poor fish out. Now, oh, I thought it broke. So that's a big reason why you really use 2 elastic bands, because they do break. Also a little trick and tip, and it makes it easier, which I should be doing, is you actually put the bag on a surface. It's a lot easier for you to actually do the bag up. If you're having to hold it, it's very easy for the bag to fall out of your hands. And if you drop a bag with the fish in it, don't send it. Now my last bag here, I'm going to do double band again, okay, because this is our security bag. The first 2 bags are purely protection from that fish's spines, because bristlenoses have spines, and the first 2 bags will give double thickness to sort of prevent him from poking a hole in that bag. So that's 1 buoy done. Hard, firm, no water or air will come out of that. So I'm now going to pause the video, and I'm going to get ready for the next one and show you. Okay, so now I've got another female peppermint bristlenose. So this time I'm going to show you another way, and this way you don't need oxygen. So this is how you can bait fish up at home with no oxygen source. Okay, so what you want to do with this bag now is, remembering we're doing 1/3 water, 2/3 air. Okay, so you've got your bag like this, and you can see that the creases or the joins run this way. So I'm going end to end like this, okay? What you want to do is just leave it quite loose like that. You want to pinch it and fold it over again, and that's it, okay? You still want it to be loose because you're going to have to tighten this bag, and you don't want it too tight, otherwise you won't be able to fit the other 2 bags on as well, okay? So you want it still quite loose. Then what you do is you then fold these in half, and then you twist it like that, okay? So no oxygen needed, no air needed, okay? And that bag is probably still a bit too firm for my liking, but we'll give it a go. Okay, so remember once again, you move your hand, not the bag. Double elastic band, okay? 1/3 water, 2/3 air, okay? Nice and hard, probably a little bit too hard. You don't want to do them too hard, because that's when, if they are sent by a plane, with the altitude and the pressure, the bags can actually burst. Okay, so now what you're doing is you're grabbing your next bag and you're going to stick it end in. And this is why it actually pays to have it a bit looser, but anyway, we'll push it in. Okay, so now what you're doing is you're going to actually push this bag in, end on like this. Okay. Push all the oxygen out at the bottom. Okay, and now twist that. And then one elastic band, because remember it's the middle one, so it's really just precaution so he doesn't actually bust through that bag. I'll show you later with the Siamese fighting fish, I'm only going to use 2 bags, and that's because she has no spines or fins that can break the first bag. Okay, so now then you've also got your third bag, which you must always third bag with these guys. So once again, that's my end. So I'm now going to anything like cories, any sort of catfish, any cichlids or anything that have spines on them or sharp fins that can actually pierce through that bag. You really want a triple bag. Or any big fish. Okay, so there's my third bag. And then obviously double band it again. Okay, so I've now shown you one way with oxygen and one way without oxygen. I'm now going to show you a third way. So I'll pause the video now, I'll finish off, and then I'll come back to you in a second. Okay, welcome back. Alright, so I've got my last peppermint bristlenose female, and I've double bagged it, so there's now 2 bags here. Okay, so this time I'm actually going to use oxygen again. Okay, so I'm going to pull that second bag down, squeeze out all the air from the bag. I'm going to put my air line in there, like this. Okay. And then pump it up. Okay. Now, you don't want it too tight if you are using air. Okay, so double band again. Twist over twice, and then you want to wrap it. Okay. And then remembering we're moving the elastic band, not the bag. Okay, leave enough so you can twist this and lasso it back around the top of the bag. Okay, now you've got your second bag. So once again, like we did the first time, twist that around. Not too tight because you want to leave a little bit of room. And I think I've used 2 bands there. Not too tight because you don't want it. You want to be able to leave enough room in the second bag for the first one to sort of expand, like I was saying with the pressure, the altitude pressure of the plane. If you're sending it via road, it doesn't matter. It's mainly just air freight that you need to worry about that expanding of the bag. So I've got my 2. Now what you do for your third one is similar to what we just did with the second bag, and we're going to pull this down. Now I'm going to tell you why you do this, because there is a good reason. Okay, so let me show you this one. So in this one we've got 2 corners where he can stick his nose in, and if the bag actually gets squashed in the box, that's what, you know, his face could be in that basically, and you don't want that. So this way, which is very similar to this way that we did without oxygen, which is the way you guys would probably do it at home, okay, you can see how there's no corners. There's nowhere for him to actually get his nose in and caught. The same with this bag. So this bag we've used oxygen, but this way we're going to pull it in like this, and see, there's no corners now. Double elastic band and tie it up. So now we've got an oxygen filled bag, and we've also got a bag now with no corners in it. So nowhere for that fish to actually get caught or stuck in the corner. Now, I'll leave you here, we'll pause now, and I'll get ready to show you the female fighting fish. Welcome back. So we've got our little female fighter in a small bag that's adequately sized. Now, this one I'm going to show you without oxygen. So this way is what you would do at home. So once again, corner to corner, you fold the bag down twice, like this, still quite loose. Then you fold it in half again, and then you twist the bag. You only need to twist it a couple of times. If you twist it more than 2 or 3 times, you make the bag too hard, and that's when you'll get explosion or the bag will bust during transport. So twist it around, and then we're going to turn the band, not the bag. Okay, lasso that around. Okay, and then you're going to put your second one on. Okay, and this obviously it helps a lot if you don't put too much oxygen in the bag and make the bag too hard, otherwise it's just so hard to get that second bag on. Okay, push it down, push all that air out of it, like that. Turn that around, and then because it's the outside, you double band it again. So double band, double band. So if you're only doing 2 bags, then you double band both layers, because one band can break, and you don't want that second layer, otherwise it's pointless. You might as well just do 1 layer. Alright, so now let's bring the fishies. We've got our 4 bags of fish. Let's bring them over here now, and let's box them up. Okay, welcome back. So we've got our bags of fish. Okay, we've got our box, we've got our newspaper, and we've got our heat pack. And we've also got our bag with our address and everything already on it. Okay, so now this is your heat pack. They're a thermal heat pack, so what happens is they oxidate with the air in the box. So what you do is you can actually buy these from me if anyone would like any of these and you can't find them. You can contact me here at Shrimplovers, and I can sell you some. So you take the sticky off, some don't, this one does. Makes it a lot easier. Okay, so what you need to do is obviously, as I just said, these oxidate and warm up, basically a chemical reaction with the oxygen. So you need oxygen. So what you have to do if you use them is you have to put a hole in your box. Now you'll say, oh, but won't the cold come in? No, it won't, because heat rises. So the warmth inside the box, the oxygen comes in, but the cold doesn't. So basically the heat will be pushing out that hole, so there won't be any cold coming in. So you've ruffled it all up, you've loosened all the beads, and then what you want to do is just put it close to that hole. Okay, so the oxygen coming in will help to keep that warm. You can get lots of different houred heat packs. This one here is a 12-hour. Okay, now another thing that you want to do is you want to actually line your poly box with some newspaper. Okay, like I put in there. And now we want to actually wrap our bags of fish up. Remembering this keeps them dark and also keeps them a bit more protected against the cold air. Okay, so nothing super special, nothing scientific. You don't have to make it look pretty. You can double wrap it in newspaper, use 2 sheets. I'm only going to use 1 sheet each, simply because I haven't worked out yet how much room I've got in the box. By the looks of it, I'm going to be pretty perfect actually. Okay, so wrap the big boy. Now another tip that I want to mention is when putting fish in a box, you really want them to be as much surface area, as much air surface area as you can get them. So in this instance, you do not put them standing up, because then they've only got that much surface area. Okay, when you lie them on their side, you've got that much surface area, and that's the important part. Okay, now the little Siamese fighting fish, I'm going to double wrap. So there's my little girl there. I'm going to wrap her like this. Okay, and then put her in here as well. So now, as you can see from here, You know, they're pretty good. There's a little bit of room in here which we're now going to pack. Okay, because you do not want those bags moving at all. Okay, like that. Now, we've got a bit of surface area here that we need to cover. So like that. Like that. Okay. So now once that lid goes on that box, it's going to be pretty tight. You know, those bags of fish aren't going to go too far. Alright, so then what you want to do is make sure it's all in. Okay, make sure that that lid is on nice and tight. I use a sticky tape dispenser, but whatever you guys have at home. I own a shop and I do a lot of shipping. So if you do have, you know, a lot of fish that you're breeding at home and you do a lot of shipping, invest in one of these. They make it so much easier. Bunnies have them, Office Works, and they're not that dear. Okay, so obvious reasons, you don't want to sticky tape over your hole because that's how your oxygen gets in. So one across, one down, and that's it. Okay, that's all you need. Okay, then what you do is then you want to run around and you want to actually seal that joint. Okay, so tape it, keep going around. I normally go around twice. Okay, like that. And that's it. Now these fish are now right in here and they've got enough oxygen and they've got enough heat now to last them till tomorrow. Worst case scenario, they will actually be fine in there till Wednesday, which is your 2 days. Okay, so then you get your bag and you want to have the bag so that the hole, if you're putting it in one of these satchels, you want to have the hole at the open end because that's where the air is going to come in. And you want to have them upright to where the address is. Okay, so fit it in, push it all the way in. Okay, so pretty easy now. All you need to do now is make sure that, and obviously you need to make sure that the box you've chosen will fit in one of these satchels, which I'm sure you will have already done that, but that's probably something I would also do in your planning. Sticky tape it down and just keeping those corners quite loose. So anyway, as you can see, it's fairly easy, it's not difficult, as long as you keep them in a safe environment. So in those plastic bags, they are completely safe. Keep them warm and obviously make sure that the address and the details are accurate because that will also reduce any longevity of delivery. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you've got any questions, please feel free to comment below. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.